Hello students, welcome to Resonance Hyderabad. My name is Mahima. Now today we will be discussing about the NEET 2025 paper. We'll be doing the analysis of the paper in detail, and I think most of you have many doubts regarding the level of the question paper, regarding the cutoff, regarding the results, regarding the provisional key. Now all of these queries will be resolved in this video. Now let us quickly start the NEET 2025 paper analysis. Now here we'll be discussing about the difficulty level, the cutoff trends, and also the subject wise review, right? So please stay tuned to this video. Do not skip this video because we are discussing about each and every subject in detail, and what exactly made it trickier and what part made it easier. Let us quickly start this video. Now here, if you see the overall analysis there, right? So here we have divided this into three. So what exactly it is? So we are dividing it into what? The easy, medium, hard. So we know that total we have 180 questions. Now out of that 180 questions, so how many of the questions from each subject were falling onto this easy category? So here you can say that 60 of the questions, the 60 questions overall out of 180 were easier, right? Now what is the moderate? The moderate is 69, whereas the tough or the difficult questions were the 51. Now if you can see here, if you can just see this hard one, now in which subject, as most of the students, they felt, and even it is the physics one was the toughest paper. I can say the toughest subject. So here in the NEET 2025 paper, now the physics one was the most toughest. It was nearly the JEE mains level. It was most of the questions were from the JEE main level, right? And some of them were even near to the advanced level, but not exactly the advanced level. So in among the three subjects in the physics, we have the more number of the difficult questions, that is 16. Now which is really the game changer, because here if you are not performed well in the physics, then overall scoring would be less, right? Now next we have what? We have the chemistry. Now here in the biology, the botany, we are having 14 difficult questions, that is the hard questions, as compared to the zoology part. Now next, if we just analyze the overall difficulty, right? So here the 28% of the paper was difficult, 38% was moderate, and the 33% was the easier one there. Now let us quickly do the subject wise analysis. Now let us start with the physics there. So here in this examination, the NEET 2025 examination, the toughest paper was the physics, which surpassed the NEET 2016. Now how exactly? Because see, normally the students who are preparing for the NEET level, they are not very hands-on for this JEE mains level question. Now the question practice would be completely, they'll be practicing completely different set of questions. But coming to the examination, so they have asked the questions which were mainly of the JEE mains level. So here this was the main part in which most of the students felt difficult, because the type of questions you practice and the type of the questions that appear in the examination, was the real factor, the real reason. That's the reason this time the paper was the tough. And need not to worry, even the lecturers, right? So they have taken up a long time for solving the questions. Like there were few questions which took more than 5 minutes, nearly 7 to 8 minutes also for getting solved. So the paper was overall lengthy. It was not you as a student, even the faculties faced the same difficulty for solving the question paper. So be relaxed, whatever you have been done throughout this year, be calm and just be optimistic, and let's wait for the result to come there. Now coming to the next point, now here the emphasis was placed moreover on the class 12 syllabus. Now questions were lengthy. See, for example, it's 180 questions and we have 180 minutes. So it's on an average, we have this 1 minute for the one question. Got my point? But few of the questions, they were lengthier. So here the 1 minute is not sufficient for it. So you need more than 1 minute right? Even in few questions, as I told, 5 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes was also there. So the paper was lengthy enough. So you can't complete this paper in 3 hours of the given time, right? That was the major factor. Next, no statement based questions were observed. Assertion, reason, matrix matching. I'm talking only about the physics in the physics section, right? Were included. They were included. The majority of the questions were based on the mechanics, and they were very challenging part. Okay, so this was the overall view of the subject physics, which was the tough among the 3 subjects. Now here let us just quickly analyze. Yeah, so here if you can see, now easy questions, out of 45 questions, there were 10 questions which were easy, 19 questions were moderate, and here the hard questions were 16. Okay, that's the reason the student felt it like as more number of the difficult questions, and that too the JEE mains, and few of them were in between the advanced level, okay, were also being asked. Now if you see, more number of the questions appeared from the class 12 syllabus, and from the class 11 syllabus 22 questions were appeared. Okay, now talking about the chemistry, chemistry was moderate. Okay, so as expected, right? Now the physical chemistry part was lengthy. Now this time the questions were asked from, more questions from the organic part, which actually is a good thing, because if you are very good with the organic one, then you can quickly solve the questions. Now here if you see the difficulty level, out of 45, 15 questions were hard, difficult. Okay, next, and the medium were 19 questions, and the easy were 11 questions. So here the paper was moderate. Now talking about here, now more of the questions were from class 12th, that was 25 questions were from class 12th, and 20 are questions from the class 11th. Okay, so next, coming to the biology part, the botany and the zoology. See, actually students, we have total 90. Right, so here more weightage, this time more questions appeared in the examination from the botany. So how many questions? So in the botany, 49 questions were asked in the examination. Okay, now in the zoology, there were 41 questions being asked. Right, now let us see this column. This is the tough. Okay, the hard. The number of questions which were difficult, there were 14 in the case of botany. So here if you ask, okay, if you compare biology, in biology, if you compare botany and zoology, the botany was difficult this time, okay, little, because the number of questions which appear in the examination, like 49, and that was majority of the part from the botany, and even in that the 14 questions were difficult, right? Now here in the zoology, the 6 questions were difficult, and the more number of easy questions, they are both 19 and 19 easy in the same, and even this medium level is also 16 and 16 there. Fine, so this is the analysis of the biology, right? Now here, as many of you are still worrying, okay, that what can be the cutoff, as the paper was the tough, they are not as per as, as per the previous year question papers, right? So here, see, the one basic thing that we need to keep in mind, so if the paper is tough, it's not only tough for you, it's tough for all the aspirants, okay, who have appeared for the examination. So all the aspirants who appeared, that is nearly 22 lakh, okay, aspirants who appeared for this examination, for all of them the paper is tough. It's not only you student who is facing, who is thinking that the paper is tough, it's the everyone. So if the paper is tough, the cutoff would be less. So need not to worry. Okay, so don't panic, and just be calm, be optimistic, and wait till the results come. Okay, so here the cutoff will be low. It will be not like the last year, because the last year the question paper level was different. It was moreover easy to moderate, but this time it's difficult. So in this case the cutoff will come, like for sure would be come down. Now let us see the expected cutoff, right? So here we are providing you the expected cutoff, right? So let us quickly analyze it, right? For example, let us even see how it would be, from the past 2 years. So if you see the students, now here, if you have scored 715 in the last year, like 2024, so here you can get the rank below 100 easily, but now expected cutoff is 645. Now if you score somewhere in the range 645 to 680, right? So we are expecting the highest, like 680. So in the range 645 to 680, you will be under the AIR 100. Fine. Now here for the same 605, right? So here last year if you, the AIR 500, it for 705, but this time it is what, 605. So can you see how exactly it is being there? This is the expected cutoff. Now coming for the below 1000, last year it was for 701 mark, but this time we are expecting it is 590 marks. So see students, there is no need not to worry, because yeah, again it is less. The cutoff is less. Now here last year it was 685, okay, but now it is what, 540. Now last year for 675 we are expecting the AIR 96,000, but for now, for this year it is 525. Okay, last year for 666 it was, yeah, the below 1 lakh, but here now it is 515. Okay, getting my point? So this is the cutoff, expected cutoff there, right? So here, as we have expected, the cutoff would be coming, like it will be less than the last year, so need not worry, because the paper was difficult for all. Now here let us discuss about the state, okay, about for the state level, like for the Andhra and the Telangana, what would be the cutoff, expected cutoff? So here we have the categories. Now here, according to the category wise, the university wise, for example, we have this AU, we have the SVU, and we have the OU there. Okay, so here we have the 2025, yeah, and this was for the year 2024. So if you see for the open category, right, for the 601 mark, the AIR was how much? 75,000, right? But for now, okay, this year we are expecting for 465. Now in the similar way, that is in the AU, but similar way for the SVU, right? For the last year it was 583, the 93,000, but for now, this year the predicted score is 455. In the similar way, in the for the OU, okay, so the AIR for the 502, but now for the 400 we are expecting the same AIR. Okay, so here you can just quickly go through it, right? You can quickly go through it, and if you have any doubts regarding the cutoff, okay, do let me know down in the comment section, right? So here we'll be answering up all your queries. Fine. So here you can just see the predicted cutoff for this year NEET 2025, right? Now, what are the key takeaways? Now, here if you are, I think the one who appeared for this examination is watching this video, and the next are the students who will be appearing for the upcoming year, right? Like the NEET 2026 aspirants. So for you, why this video is important, right? As you are not appeared, you haven't appeared yet, but you would be appearing. When you are appearing for any examination, you should know, right, the trends that being followed. You should know what exactly is the level of the difficulty. You should know how the paper pattern is being changing, so that you can change your strategy of preparation. Now for all the NEET 2026 aspirants and all for the one who have appeared for this examination, what are the takeaways? So here, by quickly analyzing the paper, we can tell that the physics was the toughest, right? It was the lengthy, and for the given time it was not justified. The given time was not justified for the questions to be solved. Fine. So the physics was very difficult. Coming to the chemistry one, it was moderate, right? Now coming to the bio part, it was easy to moderate. There were few questions which were directly from the NCERT, and there were few questions which were which were conceptual, moreover conceptual, application based. Okay, and if you have only read the NCERT but you don't know how to apply them, then this would be a tricky part for you. Got it? Now next, quickly let us see what's next. And this is all my suggestions to the NEET 2026 aspirants. How can you quickly, take the insights of this paper and start and improve your strategy for upcoming year? Now first, don't skip the NCERT one more time, but change the way you read the NCERT. You read the NCERT thoroughly, but also even know how to apply. Okay, so you should know how to solve the questions, like for example, application oriented and also conceptual. Your concepts need to be very, very clear, right? Next, you prepare in such a way the biology and chemistry, okay, such as application based and conceptual oriented. Now you should have the conceptual strength in physics. Why exactly? Because you have been seeing, okay, the questions which were asked in NEET 2025 were JEE mains level. No matter the question is JEE mains level or the NEET level, if you are having a good concept, then you can crack it with a wonderful strategy and the question practice, right? Next, the time management. As you have seen, now here the 180 minutes which were given for the students were not justified because the question paper was lengthy. So don't expect that there would be something different the next year, right? So you must ensure that you are preparing in such a way, you practice in such a way such that this same question paper you can solve in, the given time. Right, so the question paper practice is mandatory. The more you practice, the more you would be familiar, the more you would be perfect, okay, and you will be knowing how to handle such papers and how to complete them in a given time quickly and smartly. Next, question type familiarity. So see, if you have seen the bio part, the question paper is lengthy. So for example, if you go in such a way, 1 minute for one question, so when you read the question, half the minute is gone. Right, because it is statement oriented, you have many statements there. Got my point? So here what you need to do, as the paper is lengthy, so you need to get familiar to those type of questions. So when you get familiar to those type of questions, and if the same type of question appear in the examination, your mind would be, already know how to, solve such type of questions in a given time. So it is not something very new for you. Got my point? So here do a hands-on practice of the statement-based questions, discipline and consistency, no matter the paper is easy. No matter the paper is tough, but if you are disciplined enough, if you have the consistency, if you maintain consistency regularly, you practice, you are having dedication, okay, you are optimistic enough, and you have the aim, no matter how the paper is tough, I'm gonna crack it for sure, then nothing is tough for you, and that is a fact. Right? So here, for all the NEET 2026 aspirants, okay, do start preparing, don't waste time, and the paper is always a trendsetter, right? Now, do improve yourself in such a way, whatever the question paper comes in front of you the next academic year, you would be feeling it easy, and it would be easy for you. Fine? So here, yes. So apart from that, moreover, many of you have the doubt that when the provisional key would be released and when we are expecting the results. So students, now the provisional key will be expected by the May end, and objection window also would be open, okay, once the key is released by the early June. Now once all these formalities are done, okay, the formal results will be announced on the June 14th. Okay, on the June 14th, the result of the NEET 2025 would be announced, right? And we are hoping that this time, and yeah, for sure this time the cutoff would be low. So whoever appeared for this examination, please don't get worried. Okay, do have an positive belief, right? Be optimistic, be calm, don't panic, because if you panic, nothing gonna change. It's already done, right? And all the NEET 2026 aspirants, start preparing. Don't waste time. Buck up, and the NEET for the NEET 2026. Fine, and I hope you find this video useful. So do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.